Hi souls, welcome to my channel where hobbies go to die. Today we're doing more of an author appreciation video than it is a book review. Obviously I'm going to be reviewing books in this by this author, but I rated each one of them 4.5 stars. So obviously this is going to be more me raving about how good this author is and you should read these books. A.C. Crowne is quite the lovely writer. He has a knack for sucking you into stories and just like really getting you into the atmosphere. Very atmospheric with his writing, and it's just really good. And that's saying something for a short story writer who writes like 19 or so pages of a story. It just keeps you there, and suddenly it's over and you're just like, that's it? I want more. That is one of my complaints, but I think that's my complaints with short stories in general. I really like reading short stories, but they're kind of like teasers to me. When it's a really good short story, you're just like, I want more of this. Where's the rest of it? You know, so not necessarily complaints, it's more of a compliment that I'm just like, I want more, give me more. I will say that, of course, again, I think this is just overall general for short stories. You don't have a whole lot of words to use to kind of give you everything, so you have to kind of like pick and choose what to be vague about and what not to be vague about. There are a few things in some of his stories where I kind of wished he kind of put more detail in. For example, Midas Court. Why did the family move into this apartment? What does he do for a living? Why is he being haunted by these folklorish entities? You know, it just you give kind of like hints that, you know, there's a reason for it, but you never get the reason. So that is one drawback, but again, I think that's just short story writers in general. They don't have a whole lot of words to use to give you all the details they may or may not want to give you. Beyond that, all of his stories are great. He's an auto-buy author for me, so if he writes any more short stories, which I hope he does, I will definitely be there to pick them up to read because these have been great. Each short story that he writes is a subcategory of horror, which I like. I like that he's exploring different ones. The first one that I read is one that he actually asked me to read and review. That's how I met A.C. Crowne. And then after I read this one and was floored by how good it was, I immediately picked up the other two that he had available. Anyways, the book that I'm talking about is Diary of A.S. This is a gothic horror where journal entries are used to tell the story, kind of like Frankenstein? Yeah, Frankenstein used journals. Dracula used journals. You know, the gothic horror type of... I think that's a thing. Gothic horror back in the classics. Or maybe I haven't really looked at any other classics beyond gothic horror. I don't know if all of them use the whole journal entry thing, but it definitely gave you those vibes of classic gothic horror with the journal entries. I'm going to have to reference my notes because now I'm telling you a summary. The journal entries are used to tell the story of a man's descent into depravity as he deals with his own demons. So that's all I can really tell you without giving away spoilers and everything else. I will say that I was not expecting the ending. That's another thing that A.C. Crowne is really, really good at, is basically grabbing you with the story and then shocking you at the end. I would have liked a full-length novel. That's going to be my complaint for every single one of them. I want a full-length novel of this story, please. But yeah, that is what prompted me to pick up the other ones on my own. Which the next one that I read is Midas Court, which I mentioned a little bit with my complaints about, you know, there was a lot of questions with this one that I wished I had the answers to. It made me a little frustrated, but at the same time, it was still a great story. He wrote it so well. It was very, very chilling. What it is about, you could probably guess with all the questions that I asked already and talked about with Midas Court, is this one's a paranormal horror. Obviously. So a family starts noticing some very odd things happening in their apartment that makes them question their sanity until things start escalating. Yeah, if you really like ghost stories, give that one a read, please. And then lastly is February 29th. That is the title of the short story. It is more of a horror thriller, and it's about one man's solitary war against the darkness every leap year. And that's all I say because I can't give you more because I will give you some spoilers. Let's just say things aren't as they appear. I will say that February 29th While the Gothic horror one is, you know, you get your spooky vibes and everything with Gothic horror. Midas Court, there was some gruesome bits to it and stuff, but it's still just a spooky ghost story. This one can get pretty gruesome. There's a lot of violent details to this that could be quite triggering. There are child deaths. I will point that out for those of you who might be triggered by that, but it's still good. I would recommend you pick up all 3 of these because they are very easy that you can read in probably one sitting. You can go back to back and read them all. They are available on Kindle Unlimited. I will put the links below in my description for you to browse. Is there anything else I need to say? I would absolutely love to see Crowne write a full-length novel. With the way that he writes and stuff, I would be all over that. Or a novella. Something a little longer than a short story. Would be all over it. And yeah, that's it. That's my book review turned into an author appreciation video. Like I said, give them a read if you like horror. Give this video a like, subscribe if you want more content like this, and comment down below who your favorite out-of-body author is. If you have a list, give me a list of them. Just who your favorites are that you immediately, as soon as something new drops, you immediately go and buy it or pre-order it or whatever else. Until next time. Bye, souls.